Radha Swami. Today we are going to study the process of reading. The process of reading. As it has been already known that language is a medium of expression. In other words, language is a medium of communication. Communication can't take place without medium, that is language. Clear? So, language has 4 skills. Listening, speaking, reading and writing. There are 4 skills. Listening, speaking, reading and writing. Look, these are the 4 skills of a language. Now let us know these skills in a scientific way. Okay? Listening, the act of hearing attentively is called listening. Act of hearing attentively. Act of hearing attentively is called listening. Speaking, act of expressing ideas in words. Act of expressing ideas in words. The act of expressing ideas in words is called speaking. Then reading. Reading is the act of expressing others' ideas in words. Act of expressing others' ideas in words. Others' ideas are expressed in words is called reading. Here, look, you are expressing these ideas. Act of expressing others' ideas. So, this act is called reading. Right? In speaking, we express our ideas, but in reading, we express others' ideas. Clear? Okay. Then writing. Act of encoding ideas in words. act of expressing act of encoding. Act of encoding ideas in words. Act of encoding ideas in words. Now look here. These are codes, and in this way they are encoded. Hence, this act of encoding the ideas in words is called writing. ये सब क्या हैं? कोड हैं. इन कोड्स को बनाया ये. So this act of encoding the ideas is called writing. Clear? So these are the 4 skills of a language. In these 4 skills, this third skill, that is a reading, is prescribed in our course. So let's study reading in detail. तो हमारे कोर्स में ये रीडिंग प्रोसेस है. Reading. Okay. Now we are going to study reading in detail. So first of all, we should know what reading is. You have just studied that reading is the act of expressing others' ideas in words. There are many definitions, some definitions are in this way. Number 1, act of expressing others' ideas in words is called reading. Act of expressing others' ideas in words is called reading. Right? We can also define one of the skills of a language that makes one liberated. One of the skills of the language that makes one liberated. The second definition of reading is one of the skills of the language that makes one liberated. Right? We can also define reading in this way. One of the skills of a language in which the author communicates with his readers through printed or typed words. One of the skills of a language in which the author one of the skills of a language in which the author communicates with his readers through printed or typed words. One of the skills of a language in which the author communicates with the readers through printed or typed words is called reading. You know, here you are reading. These are not your words, but these are the encoding words. ये encoded words हैं. So, reading is one of the skills of a language in which the author communicates with his readers through the printed or typed word. Right? We can also define reading process in this way. One of the skills of a language in which one acquaints oneself with the other's views, opinions and reactions is called reading. For definition, one of the skills of a language in which one acquaints, oneself with others' views, opinions and reactions. One of the skills of a language in which one acquaints oneself with others' views, opinions and reactions is called reading. So, these are the major definitions of reading. Clear? After the definitions, the next step is the kinds of reading. Generally, reading is of the following kinds. Reading is, or you can say there are 7 kinds of reading, or reading is of 7 kinds. कितने? 7 प्रकार की रीडिंग है. What is it? Now look. Number 1, study reading. Study reading. Number 2, slow reading. Study reading, slow reading, and number 3, rapid reading. Rapid reading, and number 4, skimming. Skimming, and number 5, locating. Number 6, labeling. And number 7, dictation. Steady reading, slow reading, rapid reading, skimming, locating, labeling, and dictation. These are the 7 kinds of reading. Now let's know what are they. देखिए, steady reading. When the speed of reading is from 50 to 200 words per minute. When the speed of reading is from 50 to 200 words per minute is called steady reading. जब 50 से 200 वर्ड तक रीडिंग की जाती है उसको हम क्या कहते हैं? स्टडी रीडिंग. Slow reading, when the speed of reading is from 200 to 300 words per minute. When the speed of reading is from 200 to 300 words per minute, that is called slow reading. Then rapid reading, when the speed of reading is from 300 to 600 words per minute. Then skimming, it is used to get the main ideas of the text. It is used to get the main idea of the text. Its range is from 600 to onwards. ये इसका 600 से आगे की जो रीडिंग होती है that is called skimming. Right? Then locating. It is a mental process of deduction. It is a mental process of deduction. It is used to get the main parts of the text. It is used to find the main part of the text. Right? That is locating. Then labeling. The letters are grouped and labeled for understanding comprehension. the letters are grouped. The letters are grouped and labeled. For understanding the text. Understanding the comprehension. And labeling, the letters are grouped and labeled for understanding the comprehension. That reading is called labeling. Right? Then dictation. 7. Direct communication is called dictation. Direct communication is called dictation. Clear? So, in this way, these are the kinds of reading. Clear? After the kinds of reading, the next is the techniques of reading. Techniques. Techniques of reading. Reading involves a variety of techniques. They are: number 1, looking at the words, and knowing them, how to pronounce them. Number 1, looking at the words and knowing how to pronounce them. फर्स्ट टेक्निक क्या है? हम वर्ड्स को देखते हैं और फिर हम जानते हैं कि उनको कैसे बोला जाए. सो फर्स्ट टेक्निक, लुकिंग एट द वर्ड्स एंड नोइंग देम एंड नोइंग हाउ टू pronounce them. Right? Second is understanding the meaning of the words by themselves. Second technique, understanding the meaning of the words by themselves. Understanding the meaning of the words by themselves. Then the third technique, understanding the meaning of the words in the technique Third, understanding the meaning of the words in the context they have been used. Understanding the meaning of the words, understanding the meaning of the words in the context they have been used. Third technique, understanding the meaning of the words in the context they have been used. So, these are three techniques of reading. तो ये रीडिंग की थ्री टेक्निक्स हैं, राइट. देन नेक्स्ट इज मेटाकॉग्निटिव रीडिंग. Metacognitive reading. Being aware of how one learns and reads is called metacognitive reading. Being aware of how one reads and learns is called metacognitive reading. Being aware of how one reads and learns is called metacognitive reading, right. After the metacognitive reading, the next step is, skimming. You have just studied skimming. It is used to get the main ideas of the text. Right? So, for example, you have read the story of a fox and crow. Once a crow found a piece of bread. He was sitting on the branch of a tree. A fox passed under by the tree and saw the piece of bread in the beak of crow. What happened? She tricked the crow and got the bread in the end. हाँ, तो ये स्टोरी आपकी क्रो और फॉक्स की थी, उसको हमने स्किमिंग कर दिया. कैसे स्किम कर दिया? शॉर्ट में. इन हिंदी यू नो रामायण, I think all of you are well known. We Indian know रामायण है. इसकी स्किम कैसे कर सकते हैं? लोग, एक राम हते एक रावण ना, उसने उनकी सिया हरी थी और उनने उसको मारना. दैट इज स्किमिंग ऑफ रामायण. सो स्किमिंग is used to get the main idea of the text. Skimming is also classified into two classes. They are known as scanning and sampling. Scanning के भी दो पार्ट हम कर सकते हैं. Scanning and number 2 sampling. Scanning and sampling, these are the two types or two classes or two kinds of skimming. Now let's know scanning, a reading technique to be used when one wants to find some specific information is called sampling. A reading technique, स्कैनिंग क्या है? A reading technique to be used when one wants to find some specific information. Scanning क्या है? A reading technique to be used when one wants to find some specific information, that is called scanning. In scanning there are some tips of scanning, so you can know them. They are in this way. First, state the specific information one is looking for. Second, try to anticipate how the answer will appear and what clues one might use to help one locate the answer. Right? Then sampling. Sampling is a reading technique in which the first step is to choose to certain parts of the text that is possibly may give an outline picture of the whole text. A reading technique, in which the first step is to choose a reading technique in which the first step is to choose certain parts of the text. Certain parts of the text that possibly may give an outline picture of the whole text. A reading technique in which the first step is to choose certain parts of the text that possibly may give an outline picture of the whole text, that is sampling, right? After this, reading can also be classified into other two classes. They are extensive reading and intensive reading. Extensive reading and intensive reading. Now let us know extensive reading. Reading large number of English text for a period of at least 30 minutes or more is called extensive reading. Reading large number of English texts. Reading large number of English text for period of at least 30 minutes or more is called extensive reading. Reading large number of English text for a period of at least 30 minutes or more is called extensive reading. Right? Now extensive reading is made to improve the reading comprehension. For example, the story of a shepherd and wolf. You have heard the story? Once there was a shepherd boy. He used to graze his sheep. Once he cried, "Wolf, wolf, wolf." Villagers ran there. The boy laughed and said, "No, there was no wolf. I have only tried to know whether you would come or not." The villagers returned. Next day he again cried, "Wolf, wolf, wolf." The villagers again came. And this way third time he also repeated the same. And on the fourth time the wolf really came. The shepherd boy cried, but no villagers turned up because they thought that he was telling a lie. So this story you have read. So this is the reading of this story is called extensive reading. Right? Then second is your intensive reading. intensive reading. Reading a short text for detailed information is called intensive reading. Reading a short text for detailed information. Reading a short text for detailed information is called intensive reading. Okay? So, there are tips of how to read intensively. तो ये नोट्स में आपके दिए हुए हैं, डिटेल में आप देखिएगा. So in this way we have completed the process of reading. तो ये प्रोसेस ऑफ रीडिंग आपका कंप्लीट हो गया. ठीक है, ब्लॉक वो आपका डिटेल में आप इसको नोट्स में देखिएगा. ओके, थैंक यू. राधा स्वामी.